Get your free copy of the complete tutorial at www.teachucomp.com/free.
Sometimes you want to create a spreadsheet that contains different outcome scenarios based on variable factors. Perhaps a good example would be financial projections. Many people project what the company earnings will be for the next fiscal year based on financial projections. In Excel, you can use scenarios to display the results of different factors that might occur to change the results of a formula. In the case of financial projections, you could create a spreadsheet that contains the current year's revenues and scenarios for the next year based on a 5% increase, a 10% increase, or a 4% downturn. You use the Scenario Manager to create and display the outcomes of various scenarios. To create a scenario, first select the cell or cell ranges that contain the values that you want to make variables for the scenario. You can select up to 32 different cells to change, which will allow you to create complex scenarios. Next, select Tools, and then choose Scenarios from the menu bar. That will display the Scenario Manager dialog box. Click the Add button at the right side of this dialog box to add a new scenario through the Add Scenario dialog box which appears. In the Add Scenario dialog box, type a name for the new scenario into the Scenario Name text box. Give it a name that describes which scenario you are modeling, and click OK. You should also see the references to the cells that you selected appear in the Changing Cells text box in this screen. Note that you could click the Collapse Dialog button to collapse this dialog box down to a single line and then select cells if you forgot to do it before launching this dialog box. You can also type a comment about the scenario into the Comment text box if desired. When you're ready to proceed, click OK. That will then launch the Scenario Values dialog box. Here you enter the new values for the selected variable cells in your spreadsheet. When you've entered them all in, click OK. To view a scenario that you've created, make sure that you have the Scenario Manager dialog box open if you had previously closed it. Then click on the name of the scenario you would like to view in your spreadsheet. Click the Show button at the right side of the Scenario Manager dialog box. The selected cell values in the scenario will change, displaying in the spreadsheet. To close the Scenario Manager dialog box and view the changes, click the Close button at the right side of the dialog box. It's important to note that if you want to return to the data as it was before displaying the scenario, you may want to create a current values scenario in which you display the values as shown before applying scenarios. That way you can easily revert the data back to its original state. Otherwise, you'd have to click Undo to revert the data back to its original values.
Like what you see? Pick up your free copy of the complete tutorial at www.teachucomp.com/free.